Boston Pizza has so much more than just pizza. They got ribs and pasta and hundreds of dishes to choose from, which makes it perfect for the working lunch or dinner with the family.
Welcome back. It is the spooky season, which has inspired me to put together this behind-the-scenes wedding video, kind of shoehorn it into a Halloween theme, I guess. If you click this video, you are likely a bride or groom looking to kind of see how I do what I do on a wedding day, and I think that's great. Welcome. Feel free to like and subscribe and do all the things you need to do to see more of this content. So I'll just jump into it, kind of like a director's commentary. Because, you know, I remember DVDs. I worked at Blockbuster. Here we are at a cottage. My friend Dave and his fiancee Megan. It's their family cottage, which is fantastic. They set up kind of this reception, which you won't see later because my GoPro ran out of juice to record things. But here they are setting up kind of the beginning of the day. I'll show some photos at the end of what it looked like, but you won't see video of how the night went because it's how it is. That's Dave. He's the groom. He's helping to set up. Yeah, they didn't really want any getting ready photos of Dave himself or the groomsmen. They just kicked me out the door and sent me down the street to another cottage where Megan was getting ready. And here's Megan. There she is right there. Lovely smiling bride. For getting ready, morning stuff, typically it's the last 45 minutes of getting ready that I like to kind of show up for. That's where all the important things happen, all the important moments and people. But for today, it was a very relaxed timeline. So we kind of took it slow and we had some time. Here I am adjusting a chair outside of the frame of the window because it was distracting me. I didn't want to fix it in Photoshop. So whenever I can get things right in camera, I will go that extra inch or foot or mile or meter to make sure it looks good in camera because I don't want to do extra work and you don't want photos that look fake. So there we are. Part of the getting ready detail stuff, I'll typically start off with taking photos of dresses, details, jewelry, flowers, whatever you kind of have as a bride on your wedding day or groom on your wedding day. We'll start there. And then I'll get the photos that make sense for that, kind of ease myself into the day. Once the bride has gotten into her dress, as Megan has here, like 99%, I'll have her come out back into the good light where we can take some somewhat staged photos of her mom or bridesmaid or whoever helping her kind of the final details of the dress. So I kind of put them in the same spot where I had Megan before, and then I had her mom kind of dance around her and get a nice shot that way. There's a sweet hug. Yeah, lots of photos. They were a very loving family. It was easy to take photos of them. I like shooting on a wide-angle lens. I find it gives me opportunity to kind of give my subject some space. I like the challenge of framing with a wide-angle lens as opposed to something more medium or close. Kind of gives me a better idea of the surrounding and just creates a better image, I think. It shows a bit more context than just a really tight frame on my subjects. So, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm doing this season and last season, and probably next season too. So, yeah, wide angle. What's up? Here they are posing a bit. I think it's kind of cute. They're really playful, which I like. I like couples who are playful, parents who are playful, people who kind of get the idea that it's an important day, but you can still have a lot of fun. You know, the happy experience. Not about getting photos for the sake of getting photos. I think weddings are about the experience, and you should build everything around that. And I'm just there to capture it. That's essentially my job. Are we doing a first look with the groom's father? If it's not shown, we did it. So I'll put some photos up towards the end of this. You can see what that looks like. It was a really sweet moment. I hope I recorded for that part. I might not have. It's just a nice moment, you know? Typically, after all of the candid stuff, I'll take my bride, groom, whoever I'm photographing, and have them do a couple simple portraits just to kind of ease them into the idea of having their photo taken throughout the day. It's a good primer and also a really good excuse to get some really nice photos before any real emotion has come over anyone's face. La, la, la. Here we are in Gravenhurst at the Boston Pizza dock, I guess. It's a long walk from the dock to the end. The groom and the bride talked to one of the jet ski companies who usually parks at the end, and they had them kind of reschedule their day, so the jet ski company went to a different dock and they were able to kind of use this space. There's no permits. There was no real permission given to have their wedding ceremony here, but I mean, they did it anyway, which was nice. You can see a lot of people kind of milling around in the background, just parking their boats. And as I mentioned before, Dave didn't really want any getting ready stuff, so we kind of faked it here, which is what I usually do for a lot of couples. I'll tell them like, hey, we can just take 10 minutes just for the ceremony. I'll meet up with whatever side of the wedding party you feel is maybe less important. That's not true. Is, shyer or maybe doesn't care as much about getting ready photos. And we'll fake it. We'll do some nice pre-ceremony anticipatory photos of them, adjusting themselves so it looks like kind of a getting ready. There's a nice shot of my butt. That's nice. Glad I didn't switch. That's fun. You can see the long shadow today. It was very bright. There was no clouds in the sky, which is great for a picnic, but terrible for photos because it's just highlights across the board. But, we made do. I stopped down to like f3.5 and made some good images, I think. You'll see some on the screen here. My mom just finished a workout for the win. So as the guests started to arrive, we didn't really have a plan for assembling people, so I had one of the quote-unquote bridesmaids and also the makeup artist kind of assemble people into two lines to create somewhat of an aisle, which I thought worked really well photographically. And also, it was nice to have a little bit of a structure to a somewhat DIY day. The bride's family, a lot of them live in Chicago, were not able to make it across the border at this time during the pandemic in 2021. So they set up a bit of a live stream, I think on Facebook through a phone you can see on the screen there. It got in the way a bit, but I worked around it as best I could. I wish there was a shot I wish I'd kind of moved it for, but it's fine. I can usually block that kind of thing with people. I also don't want to get too prescriptive on how things should run, especially for something so DIY. I just wanted them to kind of enjoy it. And the people who aren't here are just as valid as the people who are here. So it was important for them to have this wedding captured and live streamed. So we just kind of let that happen. Ordinarily, I'd have them kind of set it up at the back of the room, but it's different times, man. It's pandemic times. We can make adjustments and make the live stream part of the day too. It was a long walk. It was a really long walk for the bride. So I kind of waited till she got close to the end to get some nice photos of her and her father. Otherwise, it was like shooting the moon. Again, there's that bright sun just beating down everyone. Perfect time of day, though, I think. A lot of people were kind of between meals. It was around 4:30, 4 o'clock. The early birds hadn't started their dinner yet, and the lunch and brunch crew kind of cleared out for the day. So not a lot of people, which was surprising. I thought it'd be kind of swamped, and I think that was kind of the anxiety and the anticipation of everyone here. They thought it'd be like more crowd control, but no, there was no one here. It worked out really well. So after the bride and groom kind of get to the front altar area, we kind of had everyone kind of make a semicircle around them, which I thought was really sweet, kind of surround them a bit. And also photographically looked really good because, it's kind of symmetrical, like a half moon thing. Here I am getting a wide shot of that exact thing you're seeing. Here's the photo. I always like finding natural frames whenever I can, so shooting between people, using them as kind of foreground always helps to kind of frame an image, especially when it's something so simple like this. A lot of beautiful colors in the foreground of the people wearing outfits, and I thought it needed some kind of color element to it, so I'll try and shoot around and through people as much as I can. It also makes them feel less alone and less secluded on a dock. It shows that their loved ones are all surrounding them. What a lovely thought. Oh, there's me Instagramming stuff because, we have lots of time. They made it kind of a 30-ish minute ceremony, and I had time to kind of capture some behind the scenes during the behind the scenes. Bride and groom are kind of addressing their guests, which is kind of the only point I would kind of get behind the couple to kind of get the perspective of the people around them. Usually during a regular ceremony with an altar in a church or some kind of ceremony space, I would do this during the signing. I would kind of come to the front altar space and get photos of people who are in the audience, who are in the guest list, because that's the best time to do it, when the attention is on someone else, being the bride and groom, and not at me, but I can also get to the front. Oh, here they are for the kiss. Again, I framed it between two couples. I really like the hands clapping between these couples, so I kind of framed it up that way, and I was able to Photoshop out that live stream camera, which I think looked great. I didn't actually see the footage. Hopefully it sounded and looked good. No idea. And immediately after the ceremony, typically I'll kind of arrange this if there's a small enough group of people. I'll get everyone together for a big group photo because that's the best time to do stuff like this. It's when everyone's kind of in the same spot. No one's kind of run off to cocktail hour, so we did a big group photo, which works really well. And also the sun was in like a perfect spot. It was behind everyone's heads. No one was squinting into the light. I had to squint, and that's totally fine. I'm down with that. That's how you get the best images, even lighting on everyone's faces. So here we are doing a bunch of photos, group photos. They were a lovely crew. I really liked photographing this day. It was a lot of fun. was a boat guy off to the side who was watching the whole time. He was really interested in having Meg and Dave be on top of his boat. I don't know what the inspiration was. Megan really likes boats, though, so that's part of the inspiration for having their wedding here. They're doing their real ceremony, or their extended ceremony and reception at Spencer's in Burlington. And she really likes boats, so this kind of worked out well. It's kind of a speedboat. It's kind of neat. So yeah, they jumped on top. I didn't really have any ideas for this other than just to put them on a boat for the novelty of putting them on a boat. So yeah, we'll roll with things like that. I don't really care. I mean, not that I don't care, but I'll do whatever you want. It's your wedding day. We'll photograph you guys on a boat. That's totally fine. Moments present themselves sometimes, and it works out really well. So I like these photos. I don't know if they're frame-worthy, but it was part of the day, and it happened, so we photograph it. So after the family formal photos have taken place, I will typically steal my couple for 10-15 minutes to do some photos around the ceremony space or somewhere within walking distance, preferably, because we can get a lot of stuff done within 10 to 15 minutes. And also, it kind of gets the formal stuff out of the way so that the rest of the evening can be them just enjoying their guests, family. And that's also what cocktail hour was invented for, in case you didn't know. Cocktail hour is to give guests something to do while the couple get their photos taken. So here we are doing that on the dock. Again, given the harsh light, I'm always trying to position my couples with the sun behind them to get some kind of separation from the background, and also so they don't squint too much into the light. Dave and Meg, I've worked with them before a couple times, a couple photo shoots, and they are self-described as squinters, so they squint when they smile. So the less we can get them squinting, the better. Always positioning the sun behind them to kind of get some nice even light in their faces. And yeah, here we are. This is it. This is the end of the wedding day. Boston Pizza, Howie Mandel. That's that's all we got. Dave also lost his water bottle on this dock. We think, if you've seen it, it's red. It's in his hand there. He put it down at some point, but he's still looking for it. So if you see it, if you're in Gravenhurst, send me a note. We'll get Dave connected back with his water bottle. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. If you like this kind of behind the scenes nonsense, I've done more of them. There's more in my channel. There's more to come. If you're a bride or a groom looking to reach out to me to contact me for shooting your wedding, please. All the information is in the description below. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. I'll see you guys, or you won't see me. You will see me. I won't see you. Have a good day.